And that man, after we ate, he was told to pay. He never paid.
You're looking at a self-made woman. You should know I got nothing for free in this life. None of us can know what's coming. So if you wanna be with me, baby, can you see? You gotta make room for a self-made woman like me.
It is not proper, because even biblically, the boy child should be the one who is empowered to provide for the girl or whoever he will marry.
What about you, Jane? What has been your experience in the dating world?
Well. Nowadays, I think I dated in the 80s to 90s there. And it's like the boy had a position then. But then, like Anne says, there was a situation where we all went to school together, we got employed at the same time. So it's like we shared the roles. And he expected I could bring something to the table, he brings something. But it was a time when I knew that the guy had to actually pay for my dates. You go out, he buys lunch for you. But along the way, I have seen that change that Anne is raising, where the boy goes out and it's like he doesn't even remember that he's supposed to do what boys were socialized to do. He'll look upon the girl to do all that. He'll look upon the girl to think hospital, think bills, think rent. That was something unheard of in our days. Somehow boys were socialized. And I guess it's like what boy said, the man knew their position. Somehow, again, generational. They knew that when I marry, I pay dowry, this is going to be my helper. And they always knew my position is what both said. I pay fees, I do development in the home. So in our days, I think the rules were clear. This is what you need to do. This is what the woman or the man does. I think it was clearer than it is today. And I feel like they have nobody to model. Where are our men? Why are we blaming the boy? Where are the men that they need to look up to? I think that's where I see the gap.
Now, if I'm to advise my daughter, I would tell my daughter, if somebody asks you for a date, please go ready. Carry your money with you, carry everything with you, because you never know.
Have you had an experience where men walikuacha kwa mataa?
I would not say myself that I've been actually.
What about you, Anne?
Yes, I have an experience, and that was in my days.
What happened?
I had a boyfriend who invited me for a date, and we went to a hotel. And that man, after we ate, he was told to pay. He never paid, but he looked for a panya route and he ran away. I was left there. I had to go to convince the owner that I'll pay later because I didn't even have a penny. So that was a very bad experience, and that is why today I would say, even if I'm given a date, or my daughter will ask me if when going for a date, you have to carry something for yourself, because men will leave you at a place you are not able to.
But men are complaining, women of today, you guys are just assuming things. Why would you assume that just because you've gone out, the man has to pay?
That is biblical. The man is the one who is supposed to pay. But still, it's good to share. But these days, the man will leave you alone to do it yourself. Not even sharing. A man will leave you and your children and will not even provide for food. What will you call that? That is not sharing. As women, you have no problem when it comes to sharing, because there are so many laws we are doing. There are so many things we are doing in the family. But for men, they know how to to escape those things.
Is it that women are expecting too much from these men?
We don't expect anything from men. It's only their responsibility.
And
Me,
who
that
gets
is
to
what I
define? Who gets to define, like, the level of responsibility? If maybe his ability is providing just 10,000 shillings every month, maybe you're expecting him to provide 100,000 shillings. Where do you expect him to get that money? Jane, maybe from a psychological...
Yeah, I hear you when you say that maybe the confusion comes about because of expectations. Well, again, that goes to the woman, the mother. How are we socializing our children? What are the basic values that we actually teach them? I think we are living in a very competitive world. That could be something that's bringing about confusion. This girl has grown up in a home where, like we said, the father provides. They are living with that, level of the standard that has been set there. So once I get into dating, once I get into marriage, there's an expectation that I have. Wow, like you said, the expectation could be high. In a way, maybe. I think it's time we taught people to be independent. I think it's time we taught people to learn to share. But then my question is, we can share financial, obligations. But there's so much that is in disconnect here. And this is why we have the complaint, either from the girl or from the boy. Have we left out the boy? Like Anne asked, do they know their role? Have we made it very clear that once you get into the family, this is how we want to feed you. This is what we want you to do. Has the girl also taken up the role, because she maybe comes from a home of independence, comes from a position of wealth, and maybe is even getting better money? I guess if that's the case, because of the opportunities we have in our job opportunities, let her give more. But then again, how do we help the man feel you're still important, even when it's the woman who is earning more, maybe doing all that, the house, the car, whatever else the girls want? How? And I feel this is where the boy feels left out. How is he supposed to feel empowered if everything today is about the girl? So sometimes I feel like we've ran with the girl so fast, so ahead, that we have neglected the boy child. Maybe this is why they are also getting very, very confused. Yeah.
So what can we do for them?
Anne says going back to the drawing board, that we need to restructure these roles. I think it all starts down there. Even as we are empowering the girl, let's not ignore the boy. Even as we are giving this, we're calling division of labor. The girl does this, the roles that we all have to carry out in homes. Is it time that we brought on the boy? Is it time we made them understand that girls are not meant for the kitchen? In the case, we are all going out to work. We are all taking up roles in our different job opportunities. So when is it said that the woman has to be the housekeeper, the caretaker? What then is the boy doing? Times have changed and we must change with the times. Times have changed and we must sit with the boy and tell them you have a role to play. Times have changed where we're seeing that the children we are bringing forth are lacking. They are lacking in love. They are lacking in, they are as confused as we are, as the modern parents. Where do we allow the boy to feel important? Allow the woman to feel your contribution is felt? Can we have some mutual respect? Can I feel that I'm bringing this, you're bringing this, none is relaxing? But we have a situation where even back in the village, the boy spends all the time out there relaxing. The woman does all the, whatever they do, coffee picking, or whatever small roles they make. It's like they have the initiative to go out there. Can we start by empowering the boy? Can we as mothers, because we are the people staying with these children. We're the first mothers, teachers. Can we start by telling them, this is what is expected. Don't sit waiting for the girl to do this, because if they do, you lose your ego, you lose your esteem. Nobody listens to you. Can we start by telling them that if you need a wife, you work for her. You can't keep paying dowry for the boy. We can't keep buying houses for boys. We can't keep telling them to bring certificates. We go look for jobs for them. Where is the boy? Something is lacking. Sometimes I don't know what to say. You asking if there is a way out, I feel like it goes down to the mother. What are we telling them even as they start growing? Can we start imparting values back there? Well, that's my take on that.
I think the fathers should take their role, because the boys have been left out by the father. The father should be the role model of the boy child, as the girl to the mother. The man left home a long time ago. He's never there. Where will that boy learn? Who will teach the boy what to do men thing? So the boy always sees the mother cooking or doing housework or such, and he thinks that all jobs are for the woman. When will he know that the man is the one who is supposed to do all those things? So men should come back home and teach their boys and teach their children what to do when.
True, I would also say that we need, as parents, to support our boys and bring them back to who a man is, and try to give them a proper meaning of who a man is, where he's supposed, and for them to feel a man. Pay their dowries, go out there, look for their own jobs, go out there and do things like men do and like what our fathers. So our fathers, the fathers of the children should come back and become part of a boy's growth. I think that would be a solution to our boy child and bringing up a responsible generation of men.
What about those boys who are already grown and you cannot teach an old dog new tricks? Your girls need to get married to these women. So are we condemning them to hellfire, or what do you do about them? Or everybody just stays single because we've lost a generation? We're just going to bring up good boys going forward?
Let me first of all bring you a scenario. One of my friends was going to that dowry to take his wife. So the wife looks for that money and it brings to the husband, because normally that is what is happening. The women are looking for that money to be taken to their parents as dowry. So this lady looks for that money, around 200,000, and brings it home and gives it to the husband so that tomorrow they will take it for dowry. And the man organizes, and the money is taken that night by thieves, and that was the mpango, your husband. So what will you take that? What will you say? And those are people who are of my age, and that is a true story. How will a son, his son, learn? What will that son learn from that father who is doing that?
So are we saying our girls just to stay single because the men are they're beyond repair, there's nothing to do about it?
Personally, I wouldn't
stay single.
I wouldn't say that our girls should stay single or anything, because anyway, I think there's still a point of recovery. What I would say is we should always be alert. Always be alert. Look at possible avenues of making your life a better life. Otherwise, if a person is a bad person, there is no way you can, like for example, you cannot live with a thief and just sit down and say, I got married to a thief. This is internal theft. You can't live with an internal thief. When you go out there and work very hard, you bring this money. By the end of the day, when you are getting into a relation with this kind of a boy or this kind of a man, in most cases you have seen the red flags, like a person who comes over and they are taking you for dates and mara, their wallet is gone. pay for this bill because I can't find my wallet. I packed it, but I can't see it. By the end of the day, that tells you there's a red flag. Us looking or like ignoring those red flags also are taking us to these kind of things. These men need to be taught lessons.
You know, you can't, unless somebody is willing to learn, you can't force somebody to learn. What are we telling our girls? Are we telling our girls to remain single or to stay in those dysfunctional marriages and relationships? Because you can't force somebody to change.
True, you can't force somebody to change, but if they really want, like for example, if you really want something and I can't give it to you, you will either look for a way to get that thing that you really want, or you just, you just let it be. If there's a saying that says asiyefunzwa na mamaye basi atafunzwa na ulimwengu, and this is when you say then atafunzwa na ulimwengu.
And that's where the women are. The world is out there now teaching them lessons. The lessons they didn't learn from their mothers because their mothers were too busy providing for the families. They were out there they were actually brought up by their house girls. So now they are out here, they're being taught by the world. So what are we telling them right now? Counselor?
That's another angle, very interesting angle, maybe for another topic. Who actually brought up the boy? Who was the caregiver? And we're saying, unfortunately, both parents were absent for what you have rightly explained, the issue of job and all that, and whatever they have to go out there looking for. So who helps this boy become a man? It's another woman. It's the house girl. So who is the boy copying? He's copying the father who comes late, leaves very early, goes out for weekends, socializes, with other men out there. So when do they have inequality time with the father? That one is lacking. So what do we expect in the future? The same trend gets into the children who now become the marriageable, material and all that. So the question you're asking, what are we telling the girl? I don't know how to put this. We are not just thinking about a home that has father, mother. What about the kind of homes we have today where it's one parent kind of home? Are we saying they can't become men because they don't have a father figure? We are saying, can those women look out? Can they involve the other members of the family? There must be an uncle they can depend on. There must be maybe a teacher. There could be the church leader. Much as we want to blame them that they are not also role models, at least let us not be the only people who are helping this child. Because we are modeling maybe femininity. What will the boy become? Then we're thinking about our girls. Are we condemning them to singlehood? No. What are we telling them? Balance. Go into it with open eyes. Go into it not expecting too much. Go into it speaking out. When you think things are not working, don't be I don't know what to say with respect to the Bible. Proverbs 31 woman. Don't be the one doing everything. The other side of the Bible tells us to balance our love. So I think there's going to be a bit of sensitization here. Things are the way they are. Can we call out maybe for seminars? Can we educate our children? Can we have, talks as children are growing up? Can we have places where we can bring them, talk to them as they develop, as they move into different stages in their transition, as they leave one stage, maybe singlehood to marriage? Can we teach them marriage is not just what we think a rose or such a flowery thing? Can we be realistic in our goals? Can we ask them what their expectations are? Are you getting into that marriage to exploit, or do you want companionship? So we need to redefine that, and we need to empower both. They need to understand their roles. You have children you are bringing up here, so you can't afford to be absent. So can we help both know you are complementing each other? That's what we want to help the two become, I think.
So it is okay to help as long as at least he shows some effort. what happens? You know, in that situation where you're the one providing in that family as a woman.
I don't want to imagine that. I mean, this is partnership. This is marriage. I think people need to talk. People need to sit and ask each other, even before they engage in marriage, what is our take in this? You know, we are getting into this relationship together for what? So what do you bring? What do I bring? Let there be that open communication. Let us not be the people to sacrifice everything quietly and traditionally. I'm the woman, go to Mia. I mean, can we speak up? Can we see when things are not working? Can we tell them to wake up? We can't just allow our boys to sleep and we bring everything. We need to sit and say, no. I think we need to teach assertiveness to the girl. You can't just sit there, you're getting emotionally abused. No. Can we tell the boy to wake up? I don't care how you go about it. Let me see what you bring to the table. I think we need to empower both. I think so.
What do you think, Anne?
I don't know.
When you're stuck with somebody who's not providing and he doesn't look like he's listening and you're not communicating and he's not understanding.
Okay, you won't leave your family to suffer. You have to provide. But you have to make sure that person brings something on the table. Even if it's not money, let him be responsible. Even if he doesn't have money, let that other person, even if it is homework for the children, let him help. Let him advise the boy. Do not let your boy, as a father, know that you are not the one who is providing. Please try to cover up so that boy will grow knowing that the father is not somebody who is not responsible. So if that man can make his children believe that he still provides, still the boy child will grow to a good man. But if that person will come saa 8 usiku, he'll come very late drunk, I don't think you.
The men are saying the reason they come late drunk is because you women have become very nagging. You don't know how to communicate.
Women don't nag when they are not provided for. If you provide for your woman and she's satisfied, I don't think a woman can be that nagging. It's only that the men are looking for a scapegoat, or they want to blame women for everything. But it is not true. They have become irresponsible. That is the truth. The men has become irresponsible because even if the wife is nagging, the children are still his. He should take care of the children. Even if he doesn't have money. It's not all about money in the family. There are so many things you do to be a parent.
Will that be enough for you? If all
Yes,
he does is
to me it
support.
can be enough so long as he is trying and he is taking care of the children. I think I'll be okay.
So you're okay with you going out there and providing for money?
I won't mind
And then you
going
come home, you find-
looking for that money. Yes, I look for that money. I will provide, but it should take other responsibilities.
Like
And
cooking,
still, it should not cooking. That one
washing
to me-
the house.
No, those ones no. But there are so many things in the family.
So you don't mind if you are out there providing and then you come home, the house is dirty.
No, he won't leave the house to be dirty, but he should look for something to do. I won't also encourage him to just stay in the house and do nothing. But when he doesn't bring, you don't have to bring him so much, because these days, even getting that job, even getting something to do, it's another case. So before you get married, before the time your women are dating, the time our boys and girls are dating, they should discuss that. How they.
But you know, sometimes you get into marriage, everybody has an income, and then you get to a point where the man loses the job, the woman is still working.
Immediately you should address that immediately.
And also, if you're working, why would you if the woman is working and husband, why would you try and go and step in for him and maybe create a source of income for him if I'm not able to do that?
So if you're able to do it and you have the money, maybe what he needs is maybe 1 million shillings to take a loan somewhere and start a business. and you have a title somewhere, you would be willing to give that title somewhere and take a loan for him?
That depends in so many other reasons. Number one, what kind of a man is he? Is he able to multiply that money and not put me in a situation that I'm fixated?
He's able to, but maybe he's not even able to, but you're the helper as a woman. Biblically, you're the helper.
You
The one who's
start
supposed to
I don't think I
support.
should go. I don't think I should go beyond my means. Anything that would cause me trouble later. Anything, you know, as much as we are using our hearts here, we are also using our head. So as much as I want to help him to get a living and maybe be able to provide, I should look at possible issues that can follow my helping.
So if you had a choice between choosing to make him a provider, you had all the resources, and you know probably he's irresponsible, maybe he's not as good as a manager as you are, but you're supposed maybe to train him and get him to that level, would you take that responsibility and train him and then take that loan for him? Ama you just want to take a back seat and expect him to be a provider? And
I would if he is a teachable person. I would. But if he is not, you know, this is when I'm saying you look at the would I say potential. If this person has a potential to grow, then I'll do that. If this person has done this and dragged me behind before, if he has a history of dragging me behind, then I'll be very careful and I'll really calculate my steps. So this is where I put my head first before putting my heart.
so, Counselor, are we part of the solution or we are part of the problem as women?
Relationships are complex as individuals are. But like both have said, I think it's a balancing act. And somehow I want to commend women. They have some wisdom. And I think the Bible teaches us to be wise, even in the way we communicate with those men, the way we bring our issues even when we are interacting with them. You know your man, and this is why we're saying, let people not just rush into settling down. How much do you understand each other? How much do you see into the future? Let's not just get carried away by our romantic fear. How do you visualize a future? Sometimes even without him. You have brought in the scenario of job loss. There could even be death. You know, what would happen if we have children here? We lose our job, we lose our loan, we lose our ability, even our mobility and everything, and we even lose our lives. Are we prepared to step in and fill the gap? Have we been trained to know that we are here to complement each other? So I feel there should be that balance, there should be that openness. Let's not get into marriage like we're going to exploit, like I'm going to sit back and hide my money or whatever I have. Let's purpose to work together for the good of all. But then we should all be very careful. Are we able to see those red flags?
So are we saying we put all our finances on the table, women, men, and we make decisions together?
Our experiences have taught us to be very wary. You know, we've talked about our dating experiences. Anne talks about a situation where she's left to pay the bill. I'm sure we all have had friends who've shared that, and we are like, wherever I go, I need to carry my money. Mm-hmm. If we get into marriage with that, well, we have learned even from our mothers that we always have to have something. So it's like we have learned that women have to be the caretakers. They have to be the final solution. So let's not lose sight of that. At least we know that we are coming to a family where this guy could also be having other responsibilities. I'm the one leaving my family to join. So I need to be careful. How much can I get into that without upsetting the balance here? So much as we want that openness, we know practically it might not work. So we're saying, let us set very smart expectations. Let's be careful, let's be mature. Even as we get into a relationship, it's not just the feel that we want. Let's not lose our heads in that. I guess with communication and understanding and a focus, What is it we want? We can work towards it up to the moment I see we are not reading from the same script. So I think we need to take moments of checks and balances. Are we still dancing to the same tune? If not, I think we need to I think we need to always reflect on the journey. How far have we gone as per our goals? Let's not just tell ourselves that there will be a happy end. Well, that's my take on that. So, having discussed that, it's really a heated one, as you saw. What do you think about that? I guess we all have different views. We really want you to comment on that and tell us what you think about our discussion. Would you want us to continue with it? What's your input? We would love to hear that from you, audience. Yeah.